Stand by for Dayton Flyer hockey tonight against the Maryland Terrapins. Game time was scheduled to be 8:30, but it looks like the teams are late coming out. We have 8:25 time-wise here at the rink, but the teams have not come out for warm-ups yet, so we're not going to do our little pregame spiel until they do that. So stand by, everybody. Once the teams come out and start warming up and get closer to when they're going to actually drop the puck, then we'll begin a little pregame preview. So stand by, everybody. Again, stand by, everybody, for the Dayton Flyers against the Maryland Terrapins. Still waiting for the teams to come out and start warming up, and we'll begin our pregame comments and the start of the game coming up shortly. Stay with us. Yep. What? Oh. It's the start of a brand new season for the Flyers, and they've got a tough opponent coming in the Maryland Terrapins. The Terrapins, also known as the Terps, they have already played a couple of games to start this season. They come in with a 2-0 record. They have defeated the James Madison University team and also Georgetown University as well. And so they come in at 2-0 on the season. This Maryland team was very strong last season as well. They had a final record last year of 20 wins, 5 losses, and 2 ties. They come out of the Atlantic Coast Collegiate Hockey League. They're in the Capital Division of that league. And as you can well imagine, teams coming from the East Coast and are very strong in hockey tradition, and a lot of good players coming from that area. The Flyers, coming off a season they're going to try to improve a record on. They have a number of new players. They had a lot of guys coming back from last year, although an entirely new goaltending core. Tavian Parks, Jake Gold, and Dom Grimaldi, a brand new trio of goalies for the Flyers. So how that's going to work out, we will find out shortly against this tough Maryland team. Team's warming up. We've got a couple of minutes left in the warm-up. Fans starting to file into the Kettering Ice Arena. Already have a number of folks that have lined up along the bleachers. You can see across the way in the glass. Usually a lot of students show up from UD for these weekend night games. So wherever you are at, whether you are a Flyer parent or grandparent or family member or friend, or from the Maryland Terrapins. We've already heard on our online chat from a couple of Terp fans. Lev Tomaszewski says, "Go Terps." Sean Mohan says, "Roll Terps." So we appreciate to hear everybody from anyone, whether you're a Flyer fan or a Terrapin fan. It's great to hear from anybody on our online chat. All you have to do is subscribe to the Flyer channel. There's no charge to do it. You just hit the subscribe button and you're there, and then you'll be able to post a comment on our chat. So we'll love to hear from everybody listening, where you're from or who you're rooting for, whether it's a Flyer player or a Terrapin player. It'll be great to hear from you throughout the course of the evening. Mentioned how Maryland coming out of the Atlantic Coast Collegiate Hockey League. Last year, they were 17th out of 185 ACHA Division II teams. They also have a Division III team in what's known as AAU College Hockey. It used to be called the College Hockey Federation. So a very strong hockey program for the University of Maryland. The Terps will be in red tops, sweaters, and black trunks. The Dayton Flyers will be in their traditional chapel blue or Columbia blue sweaters and red trunks. Oh, thanks a lot. We got some gifts from the parents saying, welcome back. I'm going to read that message throughout the course of the evening. Right now, stand by, everyone, for the playing of our national anthem. Our officials for this evening's game, Dural Kindop, Eric Schreiner, Lee McClure. In the net for the Maryland Terrapins to our left is Evan Jones. And the crease for the Dayton Flyers to our right is Tavian Parks. Evan Jones, a senior out of Gambrels, Maryland, 5'7", 130. For the Dayton Flyers in net, Tavian Parks, freshman out of Uniontown, Ohio. Puck is dropped and we're underway for the new season. Maryland moving left to right, dumps it into the Dayton zone. Back to get it for the Terps is Blake Warner. He's checked into the boards. Puck cleared out, back to the Maryland blue line. Back is Alex Sandell of Maryland. Moves it up the right wing all the way down the ice, and that will result in an icing violation on the Terrapins. Yeah, we had a couple of messages already. Lev Tomaszewski and Sean Mohan saying, go Terrapins. From the draw in the Maryland zone, the Terps win it and come back the other way. Mark Pichetti for the Flyers steals the puck, however. Couldn't get it out, but there is a whistle and an interference minor early on in this first period. Will result in a power play. We'll see which player is the guilty party. It is a Flyer player. It is Mark Pichetti, and it may have been when he took the puck away. Turned out to be a penalty. We got a message from Michael Sieve, says, go roll yours, roll Flyers. So thank you, Michael. Maryland on a power play. From the left wing circle, a centering pass is broken up. Puck held in, center point, dumped back in the corner. Flyers looking to clear. Several players fighting for it, coming up with it, centering, but it got through the legs of Josh Park. Now a centering pass again, and Tavian Parks covers it. One of the Terp players goes down and may be injured. It is Matt Kravitsky. We hope he's all right. And will there be another penalty? Let's see. Kravitsky back on his feet, leaning down as he goes in. He's an alternate captain for this Terrapin team. No penalty on the play. Tavian Parks covered the puck up for the Flyers with his trapper mitt. And from the draw, the Flyers win it. Clear it to the blue line. Terps hold it in. Here's Tomaszewski. Rink wide pass. Touch from Sarah. Over in and pass in front. And right at the top of the goal crease. It's covered by Parks. 1:05 left in the Maryland power play. 18:24 left in period number 1. No score, but the Maryland contingent is already on a man advantage. From the draw, here is Alex Sandell. Drops it off. Sandell leaves it for Healy. Healy's shot is deflected high and wide. Now Sarah. Rink wide pass to the left wing. Now back to Sarah. Sarah drops it off at the opposite side for Healy. Healy behind the net. His pass is broken up and stolen, and the Flyers clear it all the way back. Half a minute left in the Terp power play. Back is Tucker Healy. He's checked off the puck. It comes free to the Flyers. And Tommy Sieve. Sieve clears it down the ice. Out of the net, and fanning on a clearing pass was the goaltender Evan Jones. Dangerous play, but the Terps come back with it. Just a few seconds left in their man advantage. And now the penalty's been killed off. Declan Ployce drops it off for Ted Stuber. He's checked. Flyers still trying to get it out of their own end. It's cleared all the way down, and that will be an icing violation on Dayton. 16:59 to go. And we have a holding minor penalty. It will be on a Maryland player, Chase Wilson. Chase Wilson out of Darnestown, Maryland, is the guilty party. Got a message from Sean Healy saying, "Go Terps." Love the sweaters on both teams. That's great, Sean. They are very nice uniforms for both clubs tonight. So Dayton has a man advantage for a couple of minutes. They just killed off a minor penalty themselves. Flyers in the Maryland zone to our left. Kevin Bora, team captain, kicks it free. Then he's pinned to the boards by Brian Teskey. Flyers hold it in. Winding up, wrist shot, save, rebound! Power play goal. Scored on a rebound by Declan Ployce. And the Flyers draw first blood in their season opener, lead at 1-0. Now for Dayton, here's Liam McClements. McClements drops it behind the net in the Maryland zone. Still trying to control it was Aiden Ward. He's tied up along the boards by two Terrapins. Ward kicks it free. Now the Terps come back at center. Puck slid into the Dayton zone, but taken there for the Flyers by Owen Meichenbaum. Meichenbaum clears to neutral ice. There for the Terrapins is Jason Steinberg. Steinberg will dump it in, and it'll be a icing violation. In fact, no, we've got a penalty. Do we have a penalty coming up? Aiden Ward is there a penalty? No, he's going to the bench. Carried back into the Dayton zone by the Flyers. There's Rory Brennan. Pass deflected, picked up for the Flyers by Brett Smith. Smith slides it into the Maryland zone behind the net. After it for the Terps is Steinberg. Steinberg up along the right wing boards. Pass for one of his teammates, and I don't have his number, 24. I'm going to have to check to see who number 24 is on Maryland. He's not on their official roster. After the period ends, I'll try to find that out. Or if you are a Terrapin rooter and you know who number 24 is, shoot me a chat message. Flyers have it in the Maryland zone. Centering pass broken up and cleared to center. Picking it up for Dayton, Tom Rutherford. Rutherford to teammate Big Ted Stuber. Stuber in front, lost the handle. Flyers hold it in. There's a shot wide of the Maryland goal from the right point. Here's Rutherford. He's checked into the end boards. Terps clear the puck to the center red line. Trying to break out with it. Biganowski for Warner. Behind the net. He's checked. Loose puck. Cleared to center for the Flyers. Connor Constable shoots right on, and a save made by Evan Jones, and he'll hold on to it. Thank you very much, Spencer Duchesne. Travis Duchesne. And I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. He was not on their roster. So maybe Mr. Duchesne is a new player. Thank you very much, Spencer. That's the thing I love about this chat function, is I can converse with viewers. And there's a shot at the Flyers. Goal scored for Dayton by Colin Umhafer. And the Flyers lead it 2-0. So Colin Umhafer gives the Flyers a 2-0 lead. But here is almost a breakout for Maryland's Nate Dishner, but one Flyer was back and broke the play up. Terps dump it in. Zach Keski shoots behind the Dayton goal. There's a collision of a couple of players. The Terps get a shot off, and that shot blocked on defense. Now another couple of players pile up. Flyers control behind their own net, leading 2-0. 12:45 to go, period number 1. For Dayton, here's Tom Gillespie. Gillespie passes off to the left wing boards. Flyers unable to get it out. Now they slide to center. Nice stick handling for Dayton by Spencer DeLeo. He wraps it around the boards to the far side in the Maryland zone. Loose puck near side. Terps pick it up. Pass at center for Daniel Tomaszewski. Puck pops up over the glass off a stick. And we'll have a face-off. Got another message from Spencer Duchesne. He's a second-year Terp. That's Travis Duchesne. So I don't know why he was not on their roster on their website, unless I just missed him. But thank you very much, Spencer. Appreciate it. So now we know who number 24 is on the Terps. Flyers dump it in. That's Kevin Bora. Loose puck behind the Maryland net. Jason Steinberg. Steinberg to teammate Duchesne. Duchesne wraps it around to the far side. Intercepted there for the Flyers by Gillespie. Wrapping it around into the corner for his teammate Tommy Sieve. Sieve, he bangs around. It's intercepted and then cleared by the Terps. Loose puck behind the Dayton net. Flyers look to get it out of their own end. They do. Terrapins, Alex Sandell. Over for Healy. Healy checked before he could carry it into the Dayton zone. Flyers coming back. Here's a touch pass deflected away, and the Terps intercept. Pass at center for Andre Serra. Serra shoots to the Dayton line. Flyers get it right back out. For Maryland, Alex Sandell. Sandell passes to this side for Kravitsky. Kravitsky's pass as he gets bumped off the puck is tipped away. Terps pick it up, but a nice check by Piketty. Flyers control at center. Pass over for Hafer. He's checked. Here's a loose puck right in front of the Dayton net, and the net comes loose, and that will result in a stoppage, and we've got a scuffle. A real Donnybrook right in front of the Dayton net. Several players from both teams are wrestling around. Come on, guys. We're only half a period into this game. Tavian Parks, the netminder, might be a part of that. One of the Terrapins, Matt Kravitsky, appears to be shaken up as he moves back to the bench. And the crowd in an uproar as one of the Flyer players, Connor Constable, tossed something into the crowd. Mr. Constable is going to be going to the penalty box. And I'm sure that a Terrapin will be as well. So it looks like coincidental penalties, at least at the moment. For Maryland, the player penalized that's going to be serving the penalty, I guess, at least, is backup goalie Henri Pelletier. At least if that's it looked like number 30. So maybe it was a bench minor. We don't have a public address announcer tonight. Therefore, we're not going to get the penalties announced. Let's see, we've got a couple of messages. Sean Healy says Spencer is wrong. 24 is Alex Ovechkin. Okay, and Connor Squarey says ASU Division III would make light work of this. Oh yeah, NCAA Division III, or I don't know if that's what you were referring to, but they're still sorting things out as far as the penalties are concerned. Flyers lead it 2-0 with 10:15 to go in the first. The referees, referee Kindop, and I don't know if that's Mr. Schreiner or Mr. McClure, who is the other official speaking to the Flyer captains, Kevin Bora of Dayton and Patrick Biganowski of Maryland are the captains that are speaking to the officials. Right now they've got a penalty up for Dayton, but there is a penalty on Maryland. I saw the number 30 Pelletier go into the box. Well, all I can do from up here is go by what we see on the ice. And right now I see 5 Dayton Flyers and 5 Maryland Terps. So a coincidental penalties apparently. From the draw, puck in the Dayton zone, cleared. And it's up over the glass, and we'll have a face-off in the Dayton zone. Tucker Healy, number 5 on Maryland, will take their face-off. He wins it back for Serra. Serra spelled S-E-R-R-A. Andre Serra at the right point. Rink wide pass to the left point for Sandell. Sandell drops it off. Now it's back to Serra. Serra centers. Diving breakup of that pass. Puck still in the Dayton zone. Brett Smith after it. Brett Smith for Dayton. Wrestling with a couple of Terrapins for the puck. Now Tucker Healy spins around, drops it back to the point for Sandell. Back to Serra. Rink wide, Healy. Centers and a shot, and the save made by Parks. And it looks like the Terps are on a power play. I may have been mistaken from that puck movement. The Flyers, 1, 2, 3, 4. The Flyers are shorthanded, so the Terps are on a one-man power play. Nate Dishner carries in for Maryland. Drops it back to Tomaszewski. Back to Dishner, back to Tomaszewski. One-time shot off a pass from Branteski is wide. Flyers take the puck away at center ice. Couple of men back, moving in, trying to get a shot away for the Flyers. And that is Tommy Sieve, and there's going to be a penalty on Maryland. And it's going to be on Tucker Healy, it appears. That's called hooking. So great individual effort by Sieve on that play. Working 1-on-3 short-handed. Well, like I say, I still see number 30, which would be Henri Pelletier, backup goalie, in the box for Maryland, but they're just showing the one penalty, the current one, up on the board, so I don't know what happened there. Flyers have it from the draw on the Maryland zone. DeLeo. Pass back for Smith. Shot right on. Evan Jones the save. Rebound. And the puck almost rolled out of the big trapper mitt of Evan Jones, but he's able to hold on to it. There's several Flyers lurking. So now Dayton is on a power play chance and have the face-off in the Maryland zone, right wing circle. From the draw, puck is cleared all the way down the ice by the Terps. Back for Dayton, Aiden Ward. Aiden Ward trying to get around Luke Mohan. Pass at center, DeLeo. Left wing. He bangs it in off the boards. Deep in behind the net in the Maryland zone. Flyers have it. Drop pass for Joe Kostelk. Kostelk checked. Puck still loose. Flyers have it. Pass for Bora. Near corner. Bora bumped off the puck. Puck loose. Now it's picked up along the right wing. Here's Bora. And a pass back to Kostelk, but that's to neutral ice, so the Flyers have to circle back. Brett Smith back over the Maryland line. Centers, and it's broken up. Puck still in the Maryland zone. Stuber works behind the net. Stuber trying to shake off Warner. Gets it to Brett Smith. Left wing circle. Smith centers. And that pass is intercepted and cleared away. 20 seconds left in the Dayton power play. 6:40 left in the period. Flyers lead it 2-0. Across center for the Flyers. Here's Tommy Sieve. Bumped off the puck was Declan Ployce, and the Terps cleared away. That'll kill off this Dayton power play. There's a pass intercepted by Healy. Moves in, and his shot is blocked. Flyers escaped what could have been a big chance by Tucker Healy as he stole a pass in the Dayton zone. Flyers the other way. Shot, save, rebound, saved by Evan Jones. A nice wrist shot for the Flyers by Colin Umhafer, who scored earlier. It's been goals by Declan Ployce and Colin Umhafer. You know what, Spencer? I do not know. That very well could be. He's asking, was a player ejected? And is that why Pelletier was in the penalty box? I'll have to check between periods. Here's a shot the other way by the Terps, and it's gloved by Tavian Parks. But yeah, Spencer Duchesne, thanks for that message. I will check that. From the draw, Flyers, big Ted Stuber coming back. Stuber looks to make a play, and a shot saved from the carom of the end boards. It came back in front momentarily, but the Terps get it out of there. Flyers circle back, leading 2-0. Pass off a stick at center. Terps get it back. That's Jason Steinberg, but his pass is tipped away. It is picked up by Nate Dishner. He hands it off. Stolen at center by Brett Smith of Dayton. Here comes Smith back into the Terp zone. Centering pass for Sebastian Altoff. Couldn't control it. Back for Maryland is Trevor Drake. Behind the net in the Dayton zone, trying to wrap it around in front. Puck still loose behind the Dayton cage. Cleared ahead. Now Tom Rutherford has it for the Flyers. Clears back to the Maryland line. Who's puck picked up by Maryland's Dom Facciano. He carries in. Lost the handle. Declan Ployce of Dayton clears it down the ice. Back to get it from Maryland is number 18, Brian Teskey. 4:15 to play in the period. Luke Mohan of Maryland hits the ice in the corner. Flyers trying to hold it in. It's chucked in behind the Maryland net. Comes free to the corner. Terps clear it all the way down. Icing waved off as it was played. It was off a player's stick on the way down the ice. Terrapins drop pass back to the right point. Picking it up for Maryland is Teskey. Shot in on goal, and the save made by Parks. And Tavian Parks will hold on to it. Tavian Parks, freshman out of Uniontown, Ohio. Studying business entrepreneurship is Tavian Parks. Healy will take the draw from Maryland. Don't see the number on the Flyer player until now. It's Costel. Puck dug out, centered, loose in the slot, and Beganowski sends it behind the net, wraps around to the blue line. The Flyers pick it up. Colin Umhafer will shoot it in the Maryland zone. 3:10 to play in the opening period. There's a shot from the end boards right in front, save made by Evan Jones. Another shot from the right point, blocked in front. Flyers still have it. Tommy Sieve sheds in front for Umhafer. He's gone. Tom Umhafer on a centering pass by Tommy Sieve. And the Flyers lead it 3-0. Colin Umhafer. Holy Toledo. Going to start by the Flyers. From the draw at center ice, puck shot into the Maryland zone. And now the Terps trying to clear it out. They do to center ice. Flyers intercept and dump it back in. That was Rory Brennan. Terps send it back in the Dayton zone to our right. 2:20 to go in the period. For Maryland, Alex Sandell had it, but he's checked. Puck loose at center. Kevin Bora will wrap it around the boards into the Maryland zone. Teams change on the fly. Back comes Maryland. There's a pass to the right wing circle for Nate Dishner, but it hopped over his stick and it's cleared away. Back for the Terps, Blake Warner. Warner chips it to neutral ice. Flyers Ted Stuber for Rutherford. And he centers, but nobody's there. And the Terps come back. Brian Teskey, left wing into the Dayton zone. Shadowed by Declan Ployce. Puck comes free to center. Flyers defense has been outstanding in this first period. Picking up a loose puck is Brian Teskey. He's checked into the near boards, and the puck cleared away. Trying to steal it is Rutherford. He almost kicked it free for a breakout, but couldn't quite control it. Now here's Rutherford again, a shot. Stick saved by Jones. Here come the Terps the other way. Duchesne tied up. Loose puck now rolls on end all the way back behind the Maryland net. 35 seconds left in the opening period. Drop pass for the Flyers. Joe Kostelk centers and unable to get a shot away. Kostelk gets it back. He shoots. It's blocked. And here come the Terps. One man back for the Flyers. Here's Tucker Healy. Healy trying to get a shot away, but great defense on that play by, I think it was, in fact, it was Tom Gillespie. Good defense by Gillespie. And the period comes to a close with the buzzer. Got a message from Matthew Fusillo saying, "Let's go Terps. Wish I could be with the team this weekend." Thanks for your message, Matt. Good to hear from everybody, whether you're a Flyer fan or a Terp fan. I know Maryland usually has a broadcast crew, but they do not. They did not travel with the team this weekend. Maryland playing here today, and then they will be playing Louisville the next two nights. The Flyers will be playing next at Louisville on the 6th, and Kentucky the 7th, and won't be home again until they play Miami on the 21st. Hang on, everybody. I'm going to try to find out what happened on that penalty. Hold on just a minute. The score after one period, the Dayton Flyers 3 and the Maryland Terrapins nothing. Stand by, folks. I'll be back with you in a minute. Okay, everybody. Kent Jacobs back with you at Kettering Ice Arena. Kettering, a suburb of Dayton, Ohio, in southwest Ohio. And I was able to find out what happened, why Henri Pelletier, regularly the starting goalie for Maryland, but he's the backup tonight, why he was in the penalty box, and it's because he's the doorman. One of the Flyer guys in the press box below us said that's the way they do it here. The Flyer backup goalie tonight, Jake Dold, is also in the penalty box. They're just opening the door. So that's what it is. The backup goalie's the doorman. So that's what it was. So there was no bench penalty or anything like that. Sean Healy, hey, awesome broadcast. Thank you, Sean. That's very nice of you to say. We appreciate it. So thank you very much, and appreciate everybody getting in touch with us. I loved. I worked in radio years ago and did some hockey and also high school sports. And when you're on the radio, you can't interact. Of course, back when I was in it, there was no internet and there was no email or Instagram or all that stuff. I guess these days, if you're on the radio, you probably can interact with fans on Twitter or Instagram and stuff like that. But that's the beauty of having these games on YouTube. Is I love to interact with the spectators watching, and especially if I have a question, like I had a question about that the uniform number on that one player, and can actually get an answer from somebody who knows out in the audience. Well, that's really great. So I appreciate everybody that's chimed in on our chat tonight so far. So, well, quite a start for the Dayton Flyers. The goals unofficially scored, first of all, by Declan Ployce. Declan, a sophomore out of Chicago. Declan studying finance. He likes to go skiing when he's not playing hockey. He scored the opening goal of the game. And then the last two goals for the Flyers, unofficially, scored by number 24, Colin Umhafer. Colin, a sophomore forward out of Long Island, New York. Colin studying business, and he likes to go snowboarding and play baseball when he's not playing hockey. So let me see if I can get shots on goal from the scores table. Hold on just a minute, please. Oh, I see our producer, Jeff, is doing shots. He's keeping track of shots. So looks like it's 16. I don't know if I'm seeing this right. 16-7 for Dayton. I may not be seeing that clearly. Or 13-7. (10-7). Okay, so shots on goal favoring Dayton 10-7 in this opening period. The Terrapins got off to a quick start insofar as they had a power play almost from the opening faceoff. It came just about a minute into this opening period. And they had another power play later in the period, but obviously since they were scoreless, were unable to cash in. Got a couple other messages. We heard from Bridget Nyhus. Oh, okay. Hello, folks. We heard from Bridget Nyhus. I hope I'm saying that right, Bridget. Tommy Sieve, Minnesota's finest. Tommy Sieve, a new Flyer this year from Edina, Minnesota. Freshman defenseman studying computer science. So, and he's played a strong game so far. Got a message from this Christian saying, "Go Terps."
So we appreciate everybody sending us a message. So that's the scoring that we've got so far. One by Ployce, and Ployce, it's a French spelling. P-L-U-E-S-S. And we scored the first goal. Then Colin Umhafer, U-M-H-A-E-F-E-R. The other two goals in this period for the Dayton Flyers. I failed to mention the coaching staffs at the beginning of the game. For our guests, the Maryland Terrapins head coach is Joe Carter, assistant coaches Brennan Smith, Matt Williamson, and Adam Childs, who is the goalie coach. Thanks to Brennan Smith, before the game, I had a lengthy conversation with him in our lobby, and he helped me out with some of the player name pronunciations and whatnot. Thanks to Brennan Smith. And the Dayton Flyers, coached, of course, by Tony Morris. Assistant coaches Chris Sands and Chad Morris and Brendan Moravec. So Coach Tony Morris of the Flyers has got to be very excited about his team's start. A little bit about our Dayton head coach, Tony Morris. He played on, of course, I'm sure all of you know that we're in the ACHA Division II game here. Tony Morris played on a national championship ACHA Division II team, not here at University of Dayton, but at Wright State University, which is across town and another part of a Dayton suburb called Fairborn. And he played on that team. It was back, I think it was 2006 or 07. And he played on an ACHA Division II national championship team. Hey, we got some nice gifts from some of our Flyer folks, and I want to get a shout out. Sorry, I got to use my bifocals. I'm getting old, broken down, guys. Welcome back, Kent and Jeff. Good luck on another season as the voice of Flyer hockey. We appreciate you, and we got that from Jesse and Patty Boyce saying, "Go Declan number 4." They gave us some nice candies and some other gifts. So thank you very much to the Boyce family, and appreciate that very much. I tell you, it was so. I still thinking of last season, and I just now was about to mention at the end of last season how wonderful the UD parents, grandparents were to us. The thing, some wonderful gifts they gave us at the end of the season. And I just, as I'm about to say that, I see we got a message from Steve Bradley. Steve Bradley, father of last year's Flyer team captain Bobby Bradley, who graduated and should be in a high-flying job. I think he's on the East Coast. Steve, you can let me know about that. I think he was going out to Boston or somewhere, if I remember right. Some type of good position, either like in finance or something like that. I may not remember. But Steve Bradley says, "Hi, Kent. Great to see you live. Streaming again this season. Keep it up, Flyers. Fantastic. So, yeah, let me know, Steve, how Bobby is doing, and make sure you tell him hello and all your family. I think I met some of your other family was here on senior night last season as well. So, yes, so let me know how Bobby's doing. Emily, let me see if I can get this right. Ciardello, Emily, I hope I said that right. Ciardello says, "Go Terps." So another Maryland fan. It's great to have. I love fans from the opposite team join us as well. I think it's great. So I love to hear from Flyer fans and also Terp fans. So great to hear from you. Uh, Spencer Duchesne. Uh oh. You'll have to look on this chat. You'll have to look on the chat here. Spencer. Okay. Spencer Duchesne says, "My wife says you're the best and a quote, unquote, cutie, unquote. I am very rarely referred to as a cutie. In fact, that might be the first time. But thank you very much, Spencer, and thanks to Mrs. Duchesne as well. That's very nice. I we don't want to get into that. I remember, and we. No. It was Super Freak. We were. I also call games for one of the local high schools here, and Jeff was producing that for a couple, 2 or 3 seasons ago, and somehow we got on to. How did we get on Rick James? I don't know how we started talking about Rick James, but I said his most famous song was Super Freak, and I said that song has a special meaning to me, and that instantly set up kind of like raised eyebrows around the press box there. What the heck? And what I meant by that is I'm a big Cincinnati Reds fan. Uh, you know, we are only about 45 minutes north of Cincinnati, so we're Reds fans in this territory. And I was a big Reds fan going all the way back to 1972. And in 1990, the Reds had a World Championship season. In fact, it's the last one they've had. But their team theme song was MC's Hammers, "Don't Touch This," or "You Can't Touch This." And that was, the tune of that was Super Freak by Rick James. So that's why I said that song had special meaning to me. But, of course, Jeff, his mind in the gutter, he took that an entirely different way. I got a message again from Steve Bradley. Steve says, "Thanks, Kent. Bobby is doing great. He misses the boys, but is eager to start his accounting job." I thought it was accounting or finance, something like that, in Buffalo. I knew it was out east. So my memory's not completely shot. And he starts next week. Go Flyers. Thank you, Steve. So nice to hear from you. You guys, Bobby and all the seniors last year, what a great group of guys, great group of parents. So fantastic. It's great to hear from you, and hope to hear from you throughout the season. The Flyers off to a great start. Also heard from Deanne Joyce. Deanne Joyce. Deanne Joyce says, "Warp Factor 7, Lockie number 33," and that is Maryland player Lachlan Joyce. Go Terps, she says. So nice to hear from you, Deanne. Appreciate that. And good to hear from everybody once again. So we're getting ready. I'm curious as to see if the same goalie is in net. If Evan Jones is still in net, let me check. Hold on a second, folks. Okay, my instinct was correct. It's now Henri Pelletier in goal for the Terrapins after the shaky first period by Evan Jones giving up the 3 goals. Henri spelled, of course, French, Henri, then Pelletier, Pelletier. He was their starter last year. Pelletier out of Gaithersburg, Maryland, 6'2", a senior. Last year he had a 9-5-2 record, 284 goals against, 913 save percentage last year for these Terrapins. So Coach Carter trying to get put the lid back on this game as Maryland tries to make a comeback. Flyers control it. In the Maryland zone, that was Tommy Sieve holding it in. Now it's cleared all the way down the ice, and icing waved off. Is there a penalty? There are no penalties on the scoreboard, so they must have just waved icing off. Back for the Terps, Healy. Tries to clear, it's stolen. Shot blocked on defense off the Flyers' Tommy Sieve. Flyers coming back left to right in this second period. Puck dumped in the Maryland zone. Loose puck picked up by Flyers' Tom Gillespie. Clears up ahead. Terps get it back. There's a big hit by Gillespie on Wilson of Maryland. Flyers have it in their own end. We're a minute and a half into period number 2. Dayton and the Columbia Blue or Chapel Blue sweaters lead it 3-0. The Maryland Terrapins in their Road Red sweaters. I'm curious about some of the piping around the Terrapins uniform. That reflects the Maryland state flag. Flyers trying to get it out of their own zone. Declan Poyce wrestling around with Nate Dishner in the corner. Flyers come back. There's Rutherford moving it in. Mike Mygon, rather. Terps come back with it. Evading a check was Trevor Drake, but lost the handle of the puck. Back at center ice for Maryland is Daniel Tomaszewski. Puck shot in the Dayton zone. On net, the save made by Parks. Puck centered by Drake of Maryland, but broken up and cleared. Flyers come back. Big Ted Stuber trying to get around Jason Steinberg. They tangle up and go down. Another Flyer player goes down. Mark Piketty picks it up at his own line for the Flyers. For Ployce, puck gets past him and down beyond the Maryland goal line the other way, and that'll be icing on the Flyers. 16:48 to play in the period. Got a message from Jill Thomas. Oui, Henri. They're reflecting a message going out to Henri Pelletier. Face off in the Flyer zone. Shot saved by Parks with a big paddle stick, and the rebound is cleared away. Andre Serra of Maryland for Healy. He'll dump it in again off the stick of Tavian Parks. Up fought for behind the Dayton net. Terps have it. There's a check that sends Healy down to the ice, and the puck is shot on net, and puck is caught by Parks, and he'll hold on to it. Spencer Duchesne says, watching this game between Ohio and Maryland from Colorado. Well, safe travels, Spencer. Looks like you've got a long trip. You were leaving from Colorado, and you're going between Ohio and Maryland. Loose puck in front of the Maryland net, and the Terps come away with it. It's Alex Sandell. Pass up ahead to Healy. He'll dump it in. Behind the net, here's Andre Serra of Maryland. He's checked. Flyers come back. Puck kicked ahead into the Terp zone. After it was Sieve for the Flyers, but the Terps come away with it. Patrick Biganowski pass to center. Flyers pick that off. Kostelk rink wide pass for teammate Connor Constable. Puck chucked in behind the Maryland net. And the Terps come away with it. And they'll pass up the center ice for Biganowski, and he'll dump it in. Approaching 15 minutes left in period number 2. Terps steal the puck in the Flyer zone, but couldn't get a shot away, and now we've got a whistle. Apparently, puck popped up over the glass. Face off right wing circle of the Dayton zone. The draw, shot right on. And Tavian Parks will hold on to that one. Shot came off the stick of, I believe it was Brian Teskey. Face off in the Dayton zone. Dropped. Loose puck right in front of the Dayton net. Diving to try to get a stick on it was Biganowski. Puck volleyed around at center. Tipped back in by Biganowski into the Flyer zone, but emptied right back out. Terps have it at their own line. Pass up ahead for Facciano. Facciano shoved off the puck. It kicks free off to the far side. After it, Facciano from Maryland. Trying to dig it loose. It wraps around to this near side. Terps hold it in. Here's Luke Mohan. He lost it, and the Flyers get it out. Non-stop action. Here's Mark Piketty. Being shadowed by Lachlan Joyce. Now the loose puck comes to Tommy Sieve of Dayton. Pass to center on left wing for Spencer DeLeo. He's ridden into the boards. Flyers still have it in the Maryland zone. And Owen Meichenbaum had it, but it rolled off his stick. And the Terps empty it out of there. Here's Brian Teskey for Maryland. Pass at center. Off the stick. Flyers steal it away. Barreling in. Big Ted Stuber trying to slip it in. And down is Pelletier, and he's got it. The net came loose. Boy, Big Ted Stuber, once he gets a head of steam going, number 2 on the Flyers, It's hard to stop him. He tried to shove it in between the wickets of a prone Henri Pelletier who had hit the ice, but he covered it up. So a good save by Pelletier. There's a big hit on flyer Ted Stuber. Oh, a shot off the stick of Dayton's Tom Rutherford and kicks up over the glass off the stick. And we'll have a face-off. It goes without saying the next goal scored in this game will be a big one. If the Terps score, they'll be back in it. If the Flyers score, it would be 4-0, and a comeback would be increasingly difficult for the Terps. Wrangled four along this near wing board, right along the wall, about 4 or 5 players, now 6 players digging at it. Finally comes free, and the Terps have it. Beganowski passes over for Healy. He'll veer back, drops it off, and a one-time shot by Sandell as sails high and wide. And here come the Flyers. Into the Dayton zone, Connor Constable. Constable ridden into the end boards by Healy. Puck comes free. Now the Terps come back left to right. Long shot from center, steered aside by Tavian Parks. Flyers flip it high to neutralize. Back into the Terp zone. And for Maryland, there is Steinberg. Pass at center. Ricochets back into the Maryland zone, and that's offside. Got a message from Spencer Duchesne. Nice save, Henri. That's why he's in there. Like I say, he was the starting goalie last year for Maryland, and I'm sure the Maryland coaching staff decided that it just wasn't Evan Jones's night in giving up the 3 goals in the first period, so they made the change. That happens to goalies sometimes. We hope the rest of the season goes well for Mr. Jones. Pass at center picked off by the Flyers. Rory Brennan. His pass ping-pongs off of several skates and sticks, and the Terps have it. Shot. Parks the save, and it's off of his stick over the glass. Tavian Parks has been a stone wall so far tonight for the Flyers. And now a conference at the scorer's table between referees McClure and Schreiner. Meanwhile, referee Kindop, native of Calgary, Alberta, Doral Kindop. He's the referee that's going to drop the puck. I don't know what the conference was at the scorer's table, but now all 3 officials are back in place. Puck dropped, and it's a misfire on the faceoff. Now the puck is dropped, and we're back in underway. Terps dumping in the Flyer zone. Back is Mark Pichetti, number 44 of Dayton. For Kevin Bora, back to Pichetti. Pichetti stops on a dime, gets it back to Bora. On right wing, rink wide pass up the center is too far ahead of DeLeo. Intercepted by Luke Mohan of Maryland. He's checked. Picking up the puck for the Terps momentarily was Dom Facciano, but he's taken to the ice. Piketty behind his own net. He has it poke checked away. The Flyers trying to get something, a coordinated rush the other way. Bora tangles up with two Terps. And the puck comes free to Alex Sandell of Maryland. Sandell, poke checked away by Ployce. Here come the Flyers. There's a shot wide of the mark by Tommy Sieve. Pelletier may have gotten a piece of that with his trapping glove. Flyers Owen Meichenbaum carried back in, then lost the handle. 8 minutes, 10 seconds left in the period. Flyers lead it 3-0. There's a shot, pad save by Pelletier. Rebound cleared away. After it, Meichenbaum for Dayton. Back with Gillespie. Pass up ahead, intercepted by Brian Teskey of Maryland. Rink wide pass, Healy. Healy lost the handle. Flyers come back. Ed Stuber trying to work around a check by Sean Amon of Maryland. There's a shot from the left point that's blocked on defense, and it caroms back in front, and it's covered by Pelletier, and that will result in a face-off. 8:33 to go in the period. Goals in the first period by Declan Ployce and 2 by Colin Umafer have given the Dayton Flyers a 3-0 lead. Joe Costelk takes the draw for Dayton. He lost it, however, and Sean Amon picks it up. Amon rims around on out, held in by Brett Smith. Bangs it far side now for Constable. Constable shot on net, and it's gloved by Pelletier, and they'll hang on to it. Flyers in their season opener, and of course then also home opener. Maryland Terrapins in their third game of the season. Their record is 2-0. They defeated James Madison and Georgetown in their first 2 games, and they face a tough weekend road series tomorrow night and Sunday down in Louisville against the Cardinals. Behind his own net for Maryland is Blake Wanner. W-A-N-N-E-R. Back comes Andre Serra. Poke checked away. Here come the Flyers. Joe Costelk. Stick handling through the defense and finally came off the stick. And the Terps clear the zone. Flyers circle back at neutral ice. Brett Smith over the Terp line. Smith lost an edge, goes down. Still chasing after the puck behind the net. And the puck kicks over the stick of the Flyers' Tommy Sieve, the center. Flyers will have to retreat. Here's Jason Steinberg of Maryland dumping in behind the Dayton net to our left. And the puck stolen away. Nice play on defense by the Flyers. That was Alex Pompina. Here's a semi-breakaway for Facciano, and then he's tied up by Mark Piketty. Facciano momentarily looked like he was going to try to take the puck and move in on the Dayton net, but Piketty picked his pocket. Terps hold it in. There's a shot. Pad save. Rebound still loose. None of the Terps unable to get a stick on the rebound, and the puck strays back to center ice. Another big save by Tavian Parks. Give and go to the Flyers. Tommy Sieve. Sieve ridden into the boards the other way by Daniel Tomaszewski. Back in the Maryland zone. Puck carries all the way back behind the Dayton net the other way, and that'll be an icing violation on the Maryland Terrapins. Spencer Duchesne says, I think the Terps have a little bit of jet lag from the bus ride, and that's always a possibility. Long bus trip from Maryland to come out to Dayton. I don't know how long that is. There's a shot from the draw back in the Maryland zone that's blocked. I don't know if that's about a 6-hour trip maybe by bus. Here is Patrick Beganowski, puck popped over his stick. Flyers picked it up in their own zone. Bora behind the net now. Pass off to the right wing. Give and go at center. Ted Stuber. Not Stuber. It's Sully Clark. Clark's shot, and it's wide of the Maryland net. Holding the puck in for Dayton was number 16, Tom Gillespie. Flyers looking to make a play. Gillespie, right point. Screen shot. Blocked in front. Brett Smith trying to flip it toward the net. Sully Clark parked to the side of the cage. Couldn't quite get a jab at it. Loose puck shot. Saved by Pelletier. And there's a shove. One of the Flyer players is down. And he looked like he suffered an upper body injury, maybe a hand or wrist injury. I don't see the number. It's Ted Stuber? I think it is. He's one of the biggest Flyers physically, and I think that is. And boy, I hope it looks like he's favoring a hand or a wrist. He's holding his left arm up against himself. So, boy, Ted Stuber, boy, what a big cog in this Dayton team Ted Stuber is going to be this season. So he is a grad student, a law student. Came back to play another year since he had the eligibility, and we certainly hope that Teddy's not going to miss any time. Brett Smith holds the puck in the Maryland zone, and down at the side of the Terps cage was Flyer Sebastian Althoff, and the net comes loose. That will result in a faceoff. Face off in the right wing circle of the Maryland zone. Declan Poyce wins it back to Bora. Shot blocked. Loose puck. Andre Serra to Warner. Warner trying to chip it ahead. Here come the Terps. 3-on-2 the other way. It's Nate Dishner trying to make a play. Centering pass, but nobody home for the Terps in the slot area. Terps get it back. Another shot. Save. And the rebound kicks back to the right point. Picked up by Andre Serra. Pass to the side of the net. Oh, a centering pass for Warner, and it just got past him. Flyers come back leading it 3-0. Here's a pass for Brett Smith. Left wing into the Terp zone. Shot, save. Pelletier with the big leg pass. Puck still live in the Maryland zone. Now it kicks to center ice. And here is a pass to Aiden Ward. And he'll chip it off into the corner and chase it down. Drops it back for McClemens behind the net. He's tripped up by Serra. Loose puck. Terps come back with it. for Maryland into the Dayton zone. A shot off the stick of Luke Mohan, steered aside by Parks. Another shot blocked on defense. And a shot the other way on a clearing is covered by Henri Pelletier. It goes as a save. 2:12 to go in this scoreless second period. The Flyers leading it by a score of 3-0. Goals by Ployce and 2 goals by Umhafer. The draw, Mark Piketty for the Flyers. Wrist shot. High and wide from the right point. Puck chipped high to center. Piketty fighting for it. Dumps it back in, and then it's cleared back out. Flyers Connor Constable trying to take the puck away. Now carrying in for Dayton is Joe Costel. Tries to sling it blindly toward the Terp net. Now it's shot in on Pelletier, and he'll hold on to it. 2:32 to go in the period. Flyers lead it 3-0. Shots on goal. I'll have to get that from Jeff at the end of the period. The little print is too small on my phone. Here's the shot from the draw. It's deflects wide. Spencer DeLeo for Dayton. Back for Gillespie. Shot. Pad save by Pelletier. And unable to hold it in was Gillespie, but he controls it at center. Now the Flyers dump back in onside. DeLeo after it for Dayton. Spencer DeLeo for 9 of the Flyers, fighting for it, along with Sully Clark, number 12. And Daniel Tomaszewski of Maryland. Gillespie's shot from the Flyers is blocked before it reached the Maryland net. Nice sidestep by Tomaszewski as he passes to center, but the Flyers intercept. Dumping it in, Sully Clark. Behind the Maryland cage. Tom Rutherford for Dayton. Rutherford lost the handle. Brett Smith has it at center. Brett Smith trying to work past Tomaszewski. Working in front. Shot! Save made by Pelletier. Nice effort by Brett Smith of Dayton. Smith again. Trying to fight off a check. Centering pass got through the slot area in front of the Maryland net. Brett Smith, right point. Smith checked by Beganowski, and he just shoves Beganowski down, and I think he's going to be called on a cross check. And that is indeed what it is. Brett Smith, he must have been frustrated with Mr. Beganowski and decided to give him a shove. Beganowski, Patrick, interesting story on Mr. Beganowski. He hails from Krakow, Poland. If you're watching from Krakow, Poland, give us a message on our chat. They have that translate to English thing, so we'll be able to read it. Of course, you probably can't understand the word I'm saying. But yeah, Patrick, all the way from Krakow, Poland. Here's a shot, save. That shot was taken by Teskey of Maryland, and a save made by Tavian Parks. Half a minute left in the period. For the Flyers, here is Connor Constable. Angles up with a couple of Terps. There's a shot, save. Shot taken by Wilson of Maryland. There's another shot. And Tavian Parks gloves it. That shot taken by Brian Teskey. The Terps have a Teskey and a Keski. Brian Teskey, number 18. Zach Keski, number 27. There's a shot again off the stick of Teskey at the buzzer, and it's blocked away from the Dayton net, and that will result in the end of the second period. The Terps will have a minute, 4 seconds left in the power play when the third period commences. The score after 2 is the same as it was after the first period. Dayton 3, Maryland nothing at the end of 2. Got a message? Let me pull up my chair, folks. Hold on a second. Going to take the load off. And Kent Jacobs from Kettering Ice Arena, Kettering, Ohio, just outside of Dayton, the birthplace of aviation, folks. Got a message from Sean Healy. He says, at least they didn't break down like last year's road trip. Still early, though. Don't jinx them. Sean Healy, he doesn't want to jinx them. He says, go Terps. So thanks for the message, Sean. Appreciate it. So they will resurface the ice once again. And hold on, folks. Jeff, you might want to put the camera back out there. I'm going to try to get the assists on the goals so far. Okay. I want to. Don't know. Now well, so first, uh, uh, next on Umaper, number 24, and the first assist, the only assist on that goal, the second goal of the game, went to Connor Constable. And on the third goal of that first period, Hafer's second of the period, the assist went to Tommy Sieve. Tommy Sieve, one of our freshmen. On Hafer out of Long Island, New York. Connor Constable, also out of Long Island, New York. How about that? So both Connor and Colin out of Long Island, New York. How about that? And Tommy Sieve out of, we mentioned earlier, Edina, Minnesota. So there you have it. Shots on goal unofficially. Second period, Maryland outshot Dayton in the second period 12-9, but for the game, it's all tied. 19 shots apiece for each team for the game so far. So that is the way things are there. The Zamboni has just a couple of more turns to make, and then the teams will be back out here for this third period. Oh, yeah, Spencer, the mic wasn't working right. Yeah, we had it off there for a minute while we discussed some technical issues, Jeff and I discussing some. So we hope everything is squared away. Again, I want to mention thanks again to the Poise family with the gifts they gave us. Some nice, I think it was some candies and cookies and whatnot that the Poise family gave to Jeff and I, saying welcome back to Kent. Thank you very much, and good luck on another season of Flyer hockey. And Declan, he is going to be, talk about main cogs. Declan is going to be one of those of the Flyers, sophomore forward out of Chicago. And he is going to be a very important player for the Flyers this season. I'm really excited about this Flyer team so far. I saw we carried on Instagram their intra squad game last Saturday, and I thought they looked pretty good. Again, the Flyers coming off a tough season last year, and the last couple of seasons have been pretty tough. But I think we saw last season in some of the freshmen like Declan Boyce and some of the others last year who are sophomores this year that
are taking a step. Hey, hey, how's it going? Let me. Hey, let me. Hey, how's it? Louise.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Leah McClymon's mom. Yeah.
Um, so, how's everything going?
This is awesome. This night. This is Parents Weekend. We got a lot of fans, a lot of you know students here, a lot of parents here. So we're good. We're excited for the season. So
This is Louise Sclafani. She is Liam McClymon's mom.
yes, exactly.
So, number 20. How did you guys spend your summer?
Oh, we had a great summer. We did a lot of sailing. We sailed in Chicago. And Liam was actually studying engineering all summer here. He did some research. And not a lot of trips, but just family time. So it was good. Yeah. Liam's a senior now. So it's like kind of exciting to
Sailing on Lake Michigan?
like Michigan. My husband and my son, they do the MAC race, Chicago to Mackinac Island race. I don't know if you know about that race. No? 333 miles. It's the longest freshwater race in the world, and they've won it 4 times. Yeah, yeah.
When I was a kid, and this is going back to the late 1970s, I had an aunt that lived in Chicago for years. She worked at University of Chicago. She was a secretary in the meteorology department.
No, I worked at University of Chicago for 25 years. Yes, yeah. So
Probably retired before you were there. Julia Jacobs. She worked. Funny story. I'm from Xenia, Ohio, Beaver Creek, which is Xenia. And in 1974, there was a horrific tornado there that destroyed about a third of the town. Well, my aunt working at University of Chicago, I hope everybody's not bored by this. My aunt that worked at University of Chicago, she was a secretary for Theodore Fujita, who was the originator of the Fujita scale of tornadoes. F1, F2, F3, that's him. And so when we visited her up there, she took us to see him, and it was so funny because he was just fascinated by us because we were from Xenia. He was like you're a tornado people here, I mean, it was funny, but he was a very nice guy. And yeah, but
it's coming out of University of Chicago, that's for sure.
And but anyways, what I was going to say related to the sailing is we got to go to Lake Michigan and go swimming in Lake Michigan. Well, it's so nice to see you, Louise. I think they're about ready to get going. We could just keep chatting, but these guys are going to play hockey, so I don't.
This is great. They get off to a good start so far. Hopefully they keep winning, and it's going to be great, and we'll have a good season.
They look good so far.
Hey, if anybody wants to buy anything tonight, we've got lots of fanware, and the team gets 10% of everything that's sold tonight. So we got
Sounds good.
whoops.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay, take care.
Thank you very much, Louise. Louise Sclafani, our pal, one of the main boosters of Flyer hockey. Mom of number 20, Lee McClymonds. So thanks to Louise. She brought, from Chicago, she brought Jeff and I last year frozen Chicago, authentic Chicago-style pizza from Lamana's. I can't remember the name of it, but it was Italian, I'll tell you that. They're back underway. And the Terrapins on a power play for half a minute left in it. There's a shot. Blocker pad save. Swatting the puck away was Tavian Parks. There's a one-time shot partially fanned on. And another penalty is going to be assessed, I believe. At least referee Kindop looked like he was calling a penalty. Maybe not. I don't know. Oh, maybe a stick broke. That's what it was. Somebody's stick broke. He was shouting, raised his hand and shouting, and I thought he was calling a penalty, but just one of the players of Maryland, Tucker Healy, needed a new stick. Face off in the Dayton zone. Another shot turned aside by Parks. Now here's Teskey trying to pass off to the right wing, but it deflects off to center ice. That's going to kill the penalty off. Puck comes into Parks. He sets it up now for teammate Connor Constable. Pass intercepted before it left the zone by the Terps. And then it's cleared away before Maryland could make a play in front of the Dayton net. It ices the puck, but it took the puck out of some dangerous territory. Clock stopped with 18:38 left in regulation. Flyers in the Columbia blue tops, or Chapel blue, they call it also. Sweaters leading at 3-0. Tom Gillespie tried to corral the puck but couldn't. It kicks back out to the blue line. Held in by the Terps, and a shot by Sandell. And may have glanced off the trapper glove of Tavian Parks. Carrying back in Wilson, but he's ridden into the boards by Smith of Dayton. Centering pass and a stick save by Parks off a shot by Chase Wilson, number 13. There's a trip, and it'll be a power play for the Flyers. But now, is there some extracurricular? Kostelk wanting to fight now with Warner, and I hope for the Flyers' sake that there wasn't a penalty on that. The initial penalty, a trip, is going to be on young Mr. Blake Warner. So after the whistle, there was that check into the boards, and I was hoping for the Flyers' sake that they weren't going to call anything there. And now, what's happening now? Kyle Abosh is going into the box. Are there two penalties on Maryland? Because Warner went in first, and then Kyle Abosh went in also. Unless he is in attendance or something, I don't know. But referee McClure now having a word with the Maryland coaching staff. And now he's visiting with the Flyer bench. They only have one penalty on the board for Maryland. So maybe Mr. Abosh is just keeping Mr. Warner company in there. I don't know. So just one penalty, and that would be the trip assessed to Warner, number 25, so he's in the box. Big power play for the Flyers. Leading already 3-0. Shot from the draw, swallowed up by the big leg pads, and then the trapping glove of Henri Pelletier. Neither goalie in the game right now has given up a goal. The 3 goals the Flyers scored were off of Terp starter Evan Jones. Just not his night. There's the centering pass, tipped wide by DeLeo. There's the pass centered again in the slot right in front. It's loose. It's tipped wide and a whistle, and we're going to have what, the puck hit with a high stick? Is that what happened, or do we have a penalty? Yeah, penalty on Dayton. A high stick penalty. So I thought maybe they were signaling the puck hit with a high stick, but that's a high stick minor against
the Flyers' Tom Rutherford, number 28. Got a message from Simon Joyce. Simon then would be rooting for Lachlan Joyce of Maryland. Tuning in from HK. Come on, Terps. What is HK? I don't know what HK is. Simon, send us another message. What is that? I don't know what that stands for. What that abbreviation is. Here comes Tucker Healy. Shot. Save Parks. Nice individual effort by Tucker Healy. A minute. There's a shot from the draw by Travis Duchesne of Maryland. It's high and wide of the Dayton net. Here for the Dayton Flyers, Mike Mygon past the center, and it's intercepted by Amon. Sean Amon, A-M-O-N. He's checked into the corner boards. Flyers come back the other way. Declan Ployce, who's got it over. A one-timer by Joe Kostelk, and the save made by Pelletier. Here are the Terps the other way, trying to work in front of the Dayton net. But the puck rolls off of his stick. Flyers get it out. There's Kevin Bora. Drop pass, shot! Up high over the glass by Tommy C. Oh, Hong Kong, China. Okay, thanks, Simon. I had no idea. So there you go, Jeff. Hong Kong, China. That's another new point on the map that we've been heard from. Last season we had a chat message from Finland. So Flyer hockey been an international affair. The Flyer power play or the penalty to Maryland is elapsed. Now Maryland on a power play for 20 seconds. Here's Spencer DeLeo. He shakes off Tomaszewski. DeLeo drops it back to the right point. There's a shot wide of the Maryland net, and the puck caroms off the end boards right back to goalkeeper Pelletier. 6 seconds left in the power play for Maryland. However, they have a face-off back in their own end. Aiden Ward against Nate Dishner. Puck kicks all the way down in the Flyer zone, and that'll be an icing violation on Maryland, and another face-off in the Terp end to our left. Nice crowd tonight. Opening night for the Flyers. I would say that we have somewhere around 75 to 80% capacity here tonight. Terps have it in their own end. High flip to center. Pass was intended for Beganowski, but it's picked off. But then the Terps get it back and dump it in. Piketty for Dayton. Whoa, he just avoided a big check from Dishner. But bangs off the glass high down into the Maryland zone behind the net. For the Flyers, there's Brett Smith looking to make a play. He rims it around instead to this near side corner. Picking it up for the Terps is Steinberg, Jason Steinberg. For Healy. Healy has it taken away. Shot by the Flyers. Pad save. That was a shot by Owen Meichenbaum. Pad save Pelletier. There's a big check on Steinberg, but he still has it. Steinberg Drop pass in front, and it's broken up, and there's a whistle. Nifty pass by Steinberg after great individual effort, carrying the puck all the way down. He's behind the back pass in front, but it was broken up before a Terp could get a stick on it, and I don't know what the stoppage of play was for. There's a penalty on Dayton. It's Aiden Ward. Trip. Aiden Ward, junior forward out of Buffalo, New York, mechanical engineering major, likes to go weight training when he's not playing hockey. So a big power play chance for Maryland, really critical for them if they want to try to get back in this game. Trailing it 3-0 with under 14 minutes to play. Here's Duchesne into the Dayton zone. Duchesne fires! And it's a pad save for Tavian Parks, and he covers up the rebound. Face off right wing circle of the Dayton zone. That's going to be Chase Wilson for the Terrapins. Drops it back for Sarah. His shot from the right point is wide. Flyers clear the zone. Back Andre Serra, Serra, gets the puck from goalkeeper Pelletier. Puck carries the center. They get tangled up. Does Serra. Picking up the loose puck is Wilson, and his shot is a stick save for Tavian Parks. And then the Flyers will wind up and clear all the way down the ice on net. That's a save made by Pelletier. Flyers Declan Poyce fighting off Alex Sandell to get the puck. Puck still in the Dayton zone, and now it's cleared out by Tom Rutherford all the way down the ice. 35 seconds left in the Maryland man advantage. 12:44 left in the game. Or at least the third period, I should say. Loose puck, Brian Teskey dumps in the Dayton zone for Maryland. Behind his own net, Owen Meichenbaum. He rims it around the near boards all the way down behind the Maryland net. Pelletier will set it up. Starting back on a rush for the Terps is Tucker Healy. Across center into the Dayton zone. Healy circles behind the net. Healy trips up, lost an edge, and goes down. The Flyers come back. Trying to get the puck ahead of Kostelk, but just offside at the Maryland blue line. Big chance for the Flyers, shorthanded. Now, actually, the penalty's expired, so they were at full strength at that point. Good pass off the boards, leading Kostelk, but the referee's right on top of the play, and they judged it offside. From the draw, Andre Serra of Maryland. He's pinned to the boards in his own zone behind the net. Serra still fighting for it with Kostelk of Dayton. Puck kicks free. Now Kostelk and Sandell fight for it. Sandell shovels it ahead for teammate Luke Mohan into the Dayton zone right wing. Mohan stops. Drops it behind the net. For Sandell. He's checked. There's a shot that was fanned on by the Terps. Now one of the Flyers goes down and is temporarily shaken up. That was Kostelk. He's going to the bench, replaced by Declan Poyce. Flyers come back. Oh, a big check on Constable by number 17, Luke Mohan. Under 11 minutes to play in the third period. Tucker Healy goes back in his own zone. Pass at center, picked up by Biganowski. He lost it, and the Flyers cleared all the way back into the Maryland zone behind the net. Puck shot right back in. Number 12, Patrick Biganowski, the aforementioned from Krakow, Poland. Puck off of his stick. Flyer Sully Clark had it. But now back come the Terps with Mr. Travis Duchesne. Left wing shot, save, rebound, still loose. And the Flyers were able to get it out. Tavian Parks, who's been great all evening at covering up rebounds. In that instance, the puck kicked off his pads and came free, but the Flyers cleared it. Now Dayton the other way, Brett Smith, centering pass is intercepted. And the Terps come back. There's a shot, and it's gloved by Tavian Parks. 8:38 to play, third period. Tavian Parks, T spelled T as in Tom, A-V as in Victor, I-A-N, Parks. Freshman out of Uniontown, Ohio. From the draw, the Flyers coming back toward their own end. Here's Sully Clark. Clark, pass for Pompina, broken up. There come the Terps. Warner, chased down by Brett Smith. Smith steals the puck, sidesteps a check, sends the puck to center. Intercepted by Steinberg. Steinberg tried to slip it in. Flyers take it back. Liam McClymans dumps in the Maryland zone. Terps back to get it. 9 minutes to play. Terps start out. Errant pass comes to center. It's picked up by Mohan coming the other way, but couldn't control the loose puck. Now he sends it behind the net. It wraps around to the far side. Not many great scoring chances in this period by either team. Here come the Flyers. Here's Spencer DeLeo. Lost the puck behind him. Terps pick it up. Here they come. There's a big check on Drake, but he's able to send it in behind the Dayton net. And then it heads off on a change. For the Flyers, Owen Meichenbaum. He'll flip it in behind the Maryland cage. After it for the Flyers was Bora. Pass now to the right point off a stick to this near side. Picking it up for the Terps. Here comes Dishner. And a shot by Biganowski is high and wide. Another shot. Saved. Rebound saved. Puck still loose in the Dayton zone. Another shot by Biganowski is blocked. Standing tall again, Tavian Parks. And the puck carries all the way down behind the Terp net, and that'll be an icing violation on Maryland. Big scoring chance there for the Terrapins. Tavian Parks had to make 2 or 3 saves on that sequence. Tucker Healy against Poyce of Dayton. Declan Poyce wins the draw. Back for teammate Tommy Seed. Sent down the ice on net. It's played by goaltender Henri Pelletier. Touch pass at center by Duchesne for Healy. Over for Sarah into the Dayton zone on left wing. Centers a shot. Pad save. Nice setup there and the tip by Healy, but there with the big leg pad was Tavian Parks. Now back is Healy again. He's checked by the Flyers' Rory Brennan. Puck still loose in the Dayton zone. Now it's cleared out. Played by Alex Sandell of Maryland. Rink wide pass. It's dumped in by Daniel Tomaszewski. Flyers have it in their own end with 6.5 to play. In period number 3, Dayton in the blue sweaters leads it 3-0. Home opener and actually a season opener as well for Dayton. Game number 3 for Maryland. There's a clearing shot all the way down by Dayton. That is an icing violation with 6:10 to go. Now the fans starting to smell blood. Some of them standing up against the glass across the way. With just 6 minutes to go, the Flyers up 3-0. Here is Tom Rutherford clearing the puck. It skips over the stick of Brian Teske. He chases it back down behind his own net. Teske, long pass on right wing to center over the stick of Pat Facciano and behind the Dayton net for icing on Maryland. And this Terrapin team, they've got a tough weekend coming up. They're going to hop back on the bus and head south to Louisville, which from here is probably about a 2-hour trip, I'm guessing. Referees are going to confer at the scorer's table. I don't know what this is all about. The Dayton Flyers, meanwhile, next action will be 5 days from now, October 6th. They will be playing Louisville down at the home of the Cardinals. And then the next day, we'll be facing the Cardinals' in-state rival, the Kentucky Wildcats. And the Flyers will go on a hiatus for almost 2 weeks. Then have a home-and-home series against the very tough, always tough, Miami Redhawks. At Miami on October 20th, and then coming home against those Redhawks on October 21st. And we'll have that game for you right here on Dayton Flyers Hockey YouTube channel. Well, no penalties meted out, so I don't know what the big conference was between the three officials at the scorer's table, but face-off in the Terp zone, shot from the draw, save made by Pelletier. Puck cleared away, back to get it for the Flyers, Brett Smith. Smith, pass on left wing. Off the stick, he gets it right back. Trying to work around Chase Wilson. Smith's clearing shot is blocked and held in by the Terps. Loose puck near corner of the Maryland zone, of the Dayton zone rather. And then cleared away. After it, Kevin Bora for the Flyers, a shot! And the save made by Pelletier. Rebound still loose. Puck is still alive in the Maryland zone to our left. Sully Clark trying to pin one of the Terps to the boards. Now Maryland comes back the other way. Blake Warner goes down behind the Dayton net as he tried to make a play in front of the Dayton cage. Right wing pass is intercepted by the Flyers and cleared. Puck comes in on net. Pelletier hands it off, and picking it up is Travis Duchesne of Maryland. He clears, not out. Flyers held it in, but now Sandell will get it out of there. Flyers coming back. Mark Piketty flips it high. Behind the Maryland net. 4:15 to go. Flyers hold it in. One-time blast by Ward. Save by Pelletier. Rebound was swept aside by the Terp defense. That was very dangerous. Now Meichenbaum is tripped up by Healy. Puck still loose right in front of the Maryland net, and it's cleared down the ice. And icing, no icing. They were able to pick up the puck before it crossed the goal line. Flyers trying to come back. Trying to break out, it was Sebastian Althoff. There's Ployce trying to center Rutherford, but off of his stick and cleared away. And I would have to think at some point that the Maryland coaching staff, Coach Joe Carter and his staff, were going to have to pull Henri Pelletier for the extra attacker and been down by 3 goals. If they're going to do it, I would have to think it would be at any time. Declan Ployce takes the draw for Dayton and wins it. Right point shot. Save Pelletier. For the Flyers, Ployce. Check down to the ice. Here come the Terps. Alex Sandell into the Dayton zone. Shot, save, rebound, and the Flyers pick it up. Cleared into the Maryland zone. Andre Serra there to get it. Serra, his pass deflected. He gets it back. Now right wing pass for teammate Mohan. Back for Sandell. Sandell to Serra. He has it taken away by the Flyers constable. There's a shot. And the save made by Pelletier. That shot off the stick of Joe Kostelk of Dayton, number 11. And a couple of players have to be separated. Or if you're a Flyer, you do not want to incur a penalty here. You're up by 3 goals, and that's indeed what's happened. And that penalty was on Connor Constable. Again, probably ill-advised at this point. Constable, a sophomore out of Long Island, New York, and that's a penalty of aggression, which is good, but at the same time, there's only 2.5 minutes to go. You don't want to give them a power play to try to get back in the game. There's a shot, save. And I'm quite frankly, here comes racing back the other way for the Flyers. Unmafer, backhander, and he didn't get good wood on it. He flipped it wide. Unmafer was going for a hat trick. I was going to say I'm surprised the Terps with a face-off in the Flyer zone to start this sequence of play didn't have the goalie pulled for a 6-on-4 advantage, down by 3 goals. There's a shot, pad save, Pelletier, but they elect not to do that. Now the other way, here comes Wilson. Wilson checked well by Owen Meichenbaum before he could move in on the Dayton net. Puck comes in on Pelletier. He steers that aside to teammate Trevor Drake. He's ridden into the inboards. 1.5 minutes to go in the game. Under a minute left in the power play for Maryland. Shot, pad save, kicked out by Tavian Park. Shot off the stick of Sandell. Puck cleared all the way down the Maryland end to our left. At center for the Flyers, Kevin Bora tries to leave it for DeLeo. It's stripped away for the Terps by Andre Serra. Serra trying to spin and shoot. He's instead checked into the boards, but he's able to get a pass off to the opposite wing for Sandell. Sends it behind the net. Trying to make a play. Centering pass is intercepted and cleared away. And that will kill off the penalty. And now there are just 40 seconds left in the game. And this crowd is going to let out a big cheer in about a half a minute as the Flyers are going to win their first game of the season against a very tough non-conference opponent. There's a shot steered aside with a big paddle stick by Park. 20 seconds left in the game. Aiden Ward coming back on left wing at center. Checked by Mohan. He's able to send it in the Maryland zone. 5 seconds left. Ward a shot. He scores! Aiden Ward. He was just coasting through the slot area in front of the Maryland net. The puck just came right to him, and he just leisurely swipes a wrist shot, and it gets past Pelletier, and the Flyers lead it 4-0, and that is a very nice capstone on what's been a memorable opening night for the Dayton Flyers. Aiden Ward, a junior out of Buffalo, New York. Puck dropped, and that'll do it. And there goes the big cheer as the Flyers mob netminder Tavian Parks a shutout in the first game of the season as the Flyers win it by a score of 4-0. What a game, everybody. And now the teams will line up for the traditional handshake at center, led at first by the two goalies in the game at the end of the contest, Henri Pelletier and Tavian Parks of Dayton. Again, Pelletier only yielding the one goal in the third period by Ward. And the Maryland starter was Evan Jones. He had a rough first period, giving up 3 goals. And Tavian Parks. Hey, Jeff, you have the shots. Okay. The Flyers outshot the Terrapins for the game 35-32 unofficially. Now the coaches congratulate each other at center ice. Couple of messages. Michael Sieve says, good luck, Flyers, or good job, Flyers. Spencer Duchesne says, cheers, you Flyers. Thanks, Kent. Spencer, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. That's been another nice thing about tonight's game is I've really enjoyed corresponding with everybody. You folks from the Maryland Terrapin contingent, very nice to speak to you, everybody, and of course our Flyer fans that chimed in. We also had a message from Sean Healy. Says, well played, Flyers. Good luck the rest of your season. Great job of the broadcast, Kent. Thank you very much. And he says, go Terps. Thank you very much. And we as well here on the Dayton side wish the Maryland Terrapins good luck for the rest of their season. Boy, what a year the Terps had last year. And I'm sure with Mr. Pelletier and that, and also Evan Jones, I'm sure he'll play better next time out. But they have a lot of good players on this Maryland team that won 20 games last year. I'm sure the Terps are going to have a great season going forward. And best of luck to them against those Louisville Cardinals the rest of the weekend. So, running down the scoring again for the game. First period, there were 3 goals for Dayton. Declan Poyce, obviously his first goal of the season. Declan, the sophomore out of Chicago, assisted by Kevin Bora, team captain out of Boston, and by Colin Umhafer, who is a sophomore out of Long Island, New York. And it was 1-0 Flyers. And then came in the rest of the first period, the Colin Umhafer show. Mr. Umhafer scored twice. First goal was assisted by Connor Constable, who is his pal also from Long Island, New York. And I don't know if those guys knew each other or not. It's possible. I'll have to ask him. And then assisting Umhafer's second goal was Tommy Sieve, one of the Flyers' freshmen this season. And Tommy Sieve from Edina, Minnesota. And that was the assist on that goal. No one scored in the second. And then in the third, only in the waning seconds of the game, with just like 4 seconds left, was the opportunistic goal by Aiden Ward. He was just kind of cutting across the slot area between the face-off circles in front of the Maryland net, and the puck just kind of came over right to him, and he just swiped at it, and a nice wrist shot, and got in between the legs of Pelletier, and that was the fourth and final goal of the night. I don't have the assist on that, and I think the fellows down below have vacated the premises, so I don't think I'm going to be able to find out. But at any rate, and that's how it ended, 4-0 for the Flyers. So again, thanks to everybody. Really appreciate everybody. Got another message. Oh, Jake Day says, I don't know what this means. I don't know what this means. Or sure the UD didn't have Gandalf in net tonight. You know what that means, Jeff? Gandalf. You know what that means? It said, I don't know if UD had Gandalf in net tonight. Oh, see, okay. Jeff explained it, Jake. I'm sorry. I'm an old fuddy-duddy. I don't know anything about that. Lord of the Rings, Jeff tells me. So, Gandalf. He said it's a wizard that says you shall not pass. So now I got you, Jake, and you're right. So maybe it was. Tavian Parks. Holy cats almighty. What a game tonight. Stopping, unofficially, 32 of 32 shots tonight. And so that will bring us to our 3 stars. And let me see who I'm going to select for this contest. Boy, it's a toughie. It's a toughie. I'm going to give the number 3 star. We'll pick first. I'm going to give that to. Who should I give that to? I'll tell you what. I'm going to give it to one of the Maryland players. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. Let's give the number 3 star to Henri Pelletier. Just because he played 2 periods, only gave up the 1 goal. The number 2 star, and again, this is a tough one. We'll give that to Colin Umhafer. Colin, 2 goals and an assist, so 3 points. So he was in on 3 of the 4 Flyer goals. But the number 1 star has got to be Tavian Parks with a shutout, 32 shots on net unofficially, and turning them all aside. And so, again, the number 3 star, Pelletier of Maryland. The number 2 star, Umhafer of Dayton, 2 goals and an assist, 3 points. And the number 1 star of the game, Tavian Parks of Uniontown, Ohio, the bustling, burgeoning metropolis of Uniontown, Ohio. Tavian Parks calls home And boy, he is the favorite son of Uniontown, Ohio tonight with this performance. Business entrepreneur, major as a freshman at UD, likes to play baseball and play golf and hang out with his friends. And he's not playing goal and not stopping pucks. So congratulations to Tavian Parks on a very memorable night in his Dayton Flyer career. So I guess we'll wrap things up. Again, thanks to everybody, all the Terp fans that joined us, the Poise family that gave us these wonderful gifts and a nice note. Thanks to them, and everybody from the Flyers side of things that joined us in the chat as well, and a great night. So thanks again, everybody. So we'll shut things down as they start to disperse out of Kettering Ice Arena. And our next Flyer broadcast will be on October 21st. You know what day of the week that is, Jeff? That is Saturday. I think it's a Saturday. Yeah, because they play Friday night in Miami, and then here on Saturday night. So Saturday night, the 21st. You know what time it is? 8 o'clock. So
I'd say tell the viewers to check in early because sometimes they start early.
Check in early because every once in a while they'll start early. That's right. And Steve Bradley. I also want to give a shout out to Steve. He is the father of Bobby Bradley, the Flyers team captain from last year, and he sent us a very nice message earlier this evening as well. Thanks a lot to Steve and everybody. Great evening. So we'll shut things down and be with you at 8 o'clock Saturday evening. Mark your calendars, October 21st, against the very tough customers always, the Miami University Red Hawks. So we'll see you then. So speaking for producer and engineer and cameraman, Mr. Fix-It, Jeff Buford, I'm Kent Jacobs, reminding you again the final score, the Dayton Flyers 4 and the Maryland Terrapins 0. Until October 21st, we bid you good evening from Kettering Ice Arena, Kettering, Ohio. Good night, everybody.